Is this the end? Is this the end of Bitcoin? We gotta find out next week on Dragon Ball Z, but the next week is actually right now. I'm just kidding. Yo, we just dipped below. Excuse me, I'm dying, but don't mind me. This is more important. We just dropped below 89K on Bitcoin. Oh my god. Oh my god, is this the end? This is wall of Twitter all day. Is this the end, bro? They're freaking out. The question, though, it does raise with me, is this actually the end? Because it seems like if they were ever going to throw Michael Saylor and that whole shebang underwater, I think this would have to be the final stake to put through the vampire heart. I think they're like doing it if they're going to do it. But then you look at Eric Trump and all them, and they're in cozy with Bitcoin, so like you'd assume that they would know. That's not like, but listen to how crazy this is, right? We're dictating, or at least me, and I assume most people from this side of the community, like the XRP more lenient people, and let me know in the comments. I'm basing Bitcoin's performance off of if enough insiders want to keep juicing it. That's where Bitcoin's value comes down to, not the utility in any way. Like, I know it's so debated. Bitcoin's the biggest Ponzi ever, but guys, when I first got into the space, Bitcoin was my intro to it. Doesn't mean I don't have Bitcoin, but like if we're being completely honest, the only reason Bitcoin is going up is because they need to condition people and they need more buyers than sellers. Because what's happening right now and the outflows from IBIT and the Ethereum one rolling into XRP and Sol, of course these guys love making money. So it's obviously a move to make money. But in the same hand, bro, it seems like all the money was in these two kind of pots or a towel, a wet rag. And they are just about to finish juicing whatever pineapple juice comes out of that towel. And they're moving into the things that have utility. Doesn't mean Ethereum won't do well and doesn't have utility, but it literally seems like the money is now flowing into the improved Bitcoin. I know people are going to freak out, and the improved Ethereum. That to me is what seems like is going on. It really comes down to whether they really just want to keep juicing the price, because I know people say, but central banks and like, well, not central banks, but like sovereign wealth funds are buying it and governments are buying it and states are buying it. And it's like, but they're not buying it because it does anything. But it's one of a kind. It's not really anymore. But it's use for payment. It's not use for payment. Square's trying. Where I give credit. You hear some dude's fucking like hacksaw outside. Yo, construction right now. Yo, Bitcoin is down, and this guy's sawing right next to the house. Could this day get any worse, bro? Dude's literally sawing an Iron Man suit out there. He's like going against metal. What the fuck is this guy doing? 88.6. This is it. This video is going to be me sitting here watching everything collapse. But what will come out of it will be a beautiful butterfly. That's where we're at in life, dude. We're sitting here and fucking just hoping and praying Eric Trump and all them just have another list of buyers basically ready. Those liquidity injections, bro. Those are going to fucking send the market fucking soaring. I'm telling you. Well, I'm not telling you anything. Never financial advice ever. But, bro, with so much stimulus package on the rise, all the XRP ETFs are dropping right now. The treasury company's dropping Q1 2026. This is when, like, the spark of the liquidity is going to be fucking flying again. The ISO 222 deadline, couple of days. Franklin Templeton, couple of days. Schwab's coming in first half of next year. You got to assume BlackRock's is going to come out of the woodwork with an XRP and most likely a Sol ETF eventually. Whenever that is, I don't know how they're going to sit by and allow all these other ETF issuers to get first mover advantage. That's what's very bizarre about it. So then you really have to wonder why. Because they have a plan. Like, there's a reason they're not doing it. Larry Fink is well fucking aware of what XRP and Ripple and what they're doing. You could bet your ass. I love the clip of him on Charles Gasparino's show on Fox Business, whatever. And I was surprised. He goes, how about an XRP ETF to Larry Fink? And Larry Fink's like, oh, no, like getting all defensive. He's like, oh, I can't talk about that. You wouldn't want me to talk about that if I could. And then you could just tell it's the answer of like, I can't say shit. Can't say shit, won't say shit. So that was kind of an answer right there. They're not fucking stupid, bro. They don't think the future of this is Bitcoin. I have seen clips of him at these like international business conferences where like Abu Dhabi and shit talking, and he was at a round table with a bunch of other really influential people, and he basically he refers to it to me more like crypto and doesn't really focus on Bitcoin. Because bro, he's not stupid. He's not, I mean, there's no chance he's gonna sit there and really think the future of this is Bitcoin. Doesn't mean they don't have like it's reason for being there, but I don't know. This seems like literally the biggest Ponzi, so the rich could get richer, juicing this to the gills. And yet again, it really just depends on whether they want to keep doing that, and whether the market psychology can keep to that. You know, I think they realize this course is kind of run dry, and that the better opportunity are in the improved utility tokens. Like a fucking cryptocurrency is like John McAfee says, it's only valuable for what it can do. And then he starts freaking out. He's like, well, tell me how you can't do a smart contract on Bitcoin. And he's like freaking out, and the kid's getting all scared. He's like, oh my God. Incredible times we're living to. Hey, and listen, I want Bitcoin to keep going up. I want all the ones that I own to keep going up, you know? I got my little fair share of Bitcoin. I think everyone does. Because yet again, it was like usually, I imagine, a lot of people's first intro to this market. Obviously, as time goes on, and now we're sitting in these years, that's why it's hard to sometimes put into perspective, like, people joining this rabbit hole this late in the game, because like I've been in for a while. It's not even like trying to like, I don't know, flex that, oh, I'm in this for a while. No, it's like it's changed so much. So like when you have context to like literally years back, and you just think of all the roller coasters and manipulation you can spot throughout years of this crap, and who's in bed with who, and most likely, and you're like, that makes sense why they sent the lawsuit on them. It's just, yet again, I guess it's drawing connections. People love this guy's fucking song. Iron Man Mark Zero out there again. You hear him? Here we go. Bitwise is up next. Launching tomorrow. Bitwise XRP ETF. They got the ticker just XRP. That's a flex right there, dude. That's what I mean. BlackRock's gonna fucking sit around and let these little guys like well, not little, but Bitwise, like, no, BlackRock, I'd be like, yo, motherfucker, I want the XRP ticker, just like over petty shit. Looks like Bitwise investors going to launch their XRP ETF tomorrow. The description page on the Bloomberg terminal is up. Ticker will be XRP, elite ticker, for real. Dude, these are dropping like fly. We've had one almost every day. We had the Amplify one. Did we have one today? Maybe not today, but we got Bitwise tomorrow. And then we just saw, it makes sense why now we've been seeing him kind of do his media tour. We knew he was showing up for a reason. Because he's like doing tours with Tom Lee and shit, different talk shows together. And yeah, dude, I don't know, when he's side by side on a slide with Tom Lee, there's a clip, I wonder if we can find it, but he's talking about, yeah, like, no, it's gonna be ETF Palooza. Let's watch.
What I'm most excited about, though, is the growth of index-based crypto ETPs. If you think of who is the next buyer of crypto, it's someone for whom crypto is a small part of their portfolio. They don't necessarily have an opinion on Ethereum versus Solana or Bitcoin versus another.
People don't even know the fuck this is going on. That's what's fascinating, how niche of a niche this whole thing really is to me. Because, like, I'm just in it. So, like, it seems normal to me, but for the average person, it's really not. They have no fucking clue what any of this is going on.
Other asset. They just want to buy a broad swath of the crypto market and hold it for the long term. So I'm excited about launches like Solana and XRP. There are a few more that I think will be really great. I think
anyone who is out there and they parade like market choice, and they're not really shoving something down your throat like Bitcoin from Saylor and Ethereum from Tom Lee, when they're like, no, you got this option and this option, like we want to, like, you know, give the best, most likely product to the customer, dude. You probably want to diversify. Like when you could tell an answer like that is more nuanced and kind of looking out for you. It doesn't mean I don't trust it. I probably don't trust this guy. I don't really trust any of these rich guys, but he's a lot more sincere than Michael Saylor.
Chainlink will be an amazing launch. There are others coming down the pipe.
Chainlink.
But index ETPs, I think, will be one of the biggest stories of next year in crypto. And I think ultimately will be one of the biggest categories by which people invest. Of course, Bitwise has been running index funds for 8 years, so I'm speaking my book here. But I do think it's how the dominant way most people want to invest is just owning a basket of these assets and betting that in the future, this industry will be 10 times bigger than it is today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what it should be. It should be the best performers get to be in that index, and you track whatever the top how many is, and whatever's in the top is in the top. Top dog wins. I think in a real free market, I don't see Bitcoin staying number one. I just don't. It doesn't mean I'm right by any means, but I don't see it. I see the cracks in the armor starting to emerge, because you really can only do it for so long. You know? Granted, maybe they can get another fucking couple of decades out of it. We will see. We will see. There's a guy outside my window. I'm not even joking. He's talking in Espanol. What do you think? Wait. No, he said room 465. Where's he going with the broom? He's got a safety vest on. He's so safe. Fuck, dude. Yo, the feds are here, bro. They heard me talking shit about Bitcoin. They're sending the feds after me to shut my face, because I need to be like Jack Mahler. 21 is not a Bitcoin treasury company. 21, we plan to build cash generate. Maybe that's who the hacksaw guy is. I think we fucking cracked the case. We plan to build cash generating businesses that strengthen and expand our ability to accumulate Bitcoin. We want to provide blue chip credibility. All right. Watch this and just tell me if any alarm bells start going off.
Responsible to finance, existing preferred owners.
Yeah. So to be clear, Jack, I mean, you're saying Strategy's model depends on.
Dude, look how purge-like propaganda Black Mirror it just looks.
Perpetual leverage while 21.
Brought to you by Swan Bitcoin. Swan Bitcoin, no conflict of interest. We need to get our. But granted, yet again, I mean, like if you treat it like a business, like of course there's gonna be people out there with their bags packed, fighting tooth and nail to keep this going. But bro, this just stinks of like mainstream media. That's what it stinks of. Not mainstream, I guess, anymore, but like legacy media, just that propaganda like vibe. Like you could just smell it, you know?
Model depends on perpetual accumulation, because those are two very different philosophies.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah, I'm Jack Mahler and I love Bitcoin. That's the only opportunity in the space.
This could sound extreme or sound like a dig, but it's not. We want to be the treasury company that can afford it. Right. If you
ain't gonna afford it if it's fucking $0, my guy.
Look at Tether and myself and our leadership team. So I co-founded.
Yeah, because you're so trustworthy, Tether.
The business with Tether. Our largest outside investor is SoftBank. We have what it takes to build massive cash generating businesses within the industry. Strike is one of the most profitable per employee Bitcoin companies in the world. Tether is probably the most profitable per employee company, period, in the history of mankind. So we have lots of ideas and lots of future plans to build cash flow within the market that gives investors an ability to participate in Bitcoin.
Bro, I can only listen to this for so long. We got to put this motherfucker 1.5.
Story through an operating business. And then conversely, we're already the third largest corporate holder of Bitcoin. We will be able to add to that position substantially once we're approved. And we want to be the largest holder of Bitcoin. And we think, we can take the best of what Strategy is, which is a large Bitcoin holder and ability to accumulate, whether it's through monetizing volatility, cheap cost of capital, access to the capital markets, and the best of someone like Coinbase, which is a first mover and a leader within the industries they focus, which Tyler and I have been in our careers. So that's us. We do not necessarily want to add leverage to something like our MNAV. We do not want to add leverage to our common equity necessarily. It puts a lot of pressure on future dilution and shareholders to have to finance. We don't want new investors being responsible to finance, existing preferred owners necessarily, unless, we're missing something. And if we are, we're going to copy Michael Saylor. But so far,
I'm honestly not too familiar with whatever this like strike thing he's talking about. It sounds like he wants to, or he's running his own Bitcoin treasury company. But then my question becomes like, I guess it could be the same with XRP too. It's like, why would they buy the stock of a company and not just the underlying asset out of like an ETF? I guess with Saylor, it's like they get that fucking insane leverage, and Saylor was just kind of early before the ETFs really kind of became mainstream. But I don't know, someone let me know like what the actual benefit, like what the, like I got to look more into this.
We're watching closely and have more of a directional focus on maybe optimizing for cash flows that would finance something like convertible bonds that we would raise in the future.
That's interesting. Yeah, no, I mean, the differentiator is there. I was talking to somebody this past weekend and they said, are these corporate treasury companies just turning into leveraged Bitcoin ETFs?
Yeah, but
That's what I'm saying.
the interesting thing about that question is there are leveraged Bitcoin ETFs. If you want to leverage a Bitcoin ETF, you can do that on your own. And so the question is, at 21, what can we provide the market that others can't? And I think the very obvious answer is not everyone is Tether, not everyone has been in Bitcoin 13 years, not everyone has founded Strike, and not everyone is SoftBank. And so we plan to provide, our goal has always be the best way to participate in Bitcoin's story in the capital markets. We think we can bring both blue chip credibility and startup upside to the capital markets. And
what the fuck does that even mean?
we feel as if that was missing. Coinbase, we don't think is a Bitcoin company. We think they're a crypto company.
Yeah, because what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about, dude? Oh, Coinbase is like you could buy whatever you want on there. They're not only Bitcoin. I mean, I guess I could be talking shit. You hear this guy fucking drilling? He's like jackhammering and shit. I gotta hear myself think. Dude, imagine you ever fell through right here like some iCarly shit right on me. Bang. What was I saying, dude? Jack Muller's face is throwing me off. Oh shit. Oh yeah, Coinbase offers like, I don't know, whatever you need. Like you can come to us and we could offer you whatever, but you're not sole Bitcoin. But then I guess like Evernorth is just sole XRP treasury company. I guess it's free market. That's kind of like all we've wanted this whole time is the level playing field. And we're finally about to fucking see it play in action. The ETFs just right now are suggesting the better, more fine-tuned products are where the interest is right now. You can see the chart going from the old guys to the new fancy guys, bro. It's literally like fucking Toy Story. I don't want to play with you anymore. And he drops Woody, and Woody's like, oh. That's exactly what's kind of going on right now, and we're witnessing it.
And Strategy does not have Bitcoin native cash flow, does not build Bitcoin products, and is relying on, as far as I can tell, and again, I know I'm going to get all sorts of stuff from Strategy shareholders, and it's not my intention, but I'm just trying to build a delineation of there's, being levered with expectations of financing it through common equity or through Bitcoin sales versus being able to build a business alongside it that can optimize in being levered and being more aggressive in Bitcoin exposure. That's where we want to live.
Yeah.
Interesting. Hey, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how any of this shit plays out. Okay, turbo dump everything, destroy everyone's sentiment. Perfect. Now give them a dead cat bounce, make them believe it's going to be okay. This is exactly how this plays out. If anyone doesn't know, this is from The Truman Show, and this is the director. He basically orchestrates literally an entire world. So that's what they're getting at with this. Okay, Dan Pena. Elites are buying Bitcoin because it's an embarrassment clause, just in case it goes to $1 trillion. That sounds interesting.
The only thing that I've seen from you that has not, really panned out is the old Bitcoin statement.
I still don't believe in Bitcoin, but as Jamie Dimon said a couple years, not just to me, to the shareholders, if my customers want me to make a market in I'll make a market in If you think it's going to replace the dollar as the main currency, if you think it's going to be like the national bank, that's just not going to happen.
But it's happening.
No, it's not.
No,
so
the
it has
price
$2
is
trillion
going
in that.
up.
Whatever the value
The price goes up is different than it's
is. But if you think that the Ford Foundation, the Rocket Foundation, the Federal Bank Reserve,
They're all buying
here.
it.
they're buying 1%.
Well, why would they want any if it's going to be valueless?
Because it's an embarrassment clause.
Yeah.
Just
It's
in
the
case it goes
FOMO.
to $1 trillion, they participated. It's just
the
so they're
FOMO.
not totally embarrassed.
It's the FOMO. That's exactly what it is. And the FOMO is what drives every bull run I've ever been in, dude. Like once people see that like really crazy green candle, the fire, it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. The fire starts going crazy. Witnessed it on XRP. Witnessed it on a fucking the whole time, dude. You get those. That's what we live for in this market, dude. The fuck was that? Yeah, you can't be that one guy who missed out, dude. That's why Saylor does those like circuit tours and he goes on PBD and he says he goes and talks to private companies or whatever and he gives the pitch of like why you should buy. Because, it's going to $2 trillion in a year and a half. If this is, a bunch of bullshit. You buy. That's what you need. You buy. You never sell. You hold. And then it's just a constant kind of psyop to keep it going. But once I think inevitably the market sniffs that out, which it looks like, there's things that actually do things and they're kind of like honestly just better improved versions of this. They work, they're cheap, reliable. Bitcoin, you can't fucking send a Bitcoin. What the hell are you gonna send a Bitcoin? Stake and Shake uses fucking Lightning Network. That's great. All right, cool. The only good thing about it is like Square, honestly, is that Square implementation. But even still, it's like, with the psychology as it sits right now of this thing that sits there and it goes up, who is gonna, like, why would you want to use it as money? You'd be stupid. You'd like intentionally be knowing that you're kind of like the guy who bought the pizza with it that far long ago, and now it's worth like however many million. If the sentiment is that this is going to be truly the only money and it's going to absorb everything and it's still going to remain the top dog, trillions, it hits that million number, okay? If that's how you're really selling it, why the fuck would anyone use that as money? Even the normies, you'd be like, oh, I don't know, you'd think that, but I guess their whole pitch is that, yeah, the reason to use that for kind of daily transactions is what they're proposing, which the Lightning Network, I guess, could handle. I heard that when they did the Steak and Shake deal, it did kind of go to shit a little bit, and we all know it is like shit for payments, so it's like, I just don't see how, I don't see how this goes. Like, why the fuck would you opt in for Lightning Network and shit when there's just superior technology like Visa and all them coming in? I guess Square does have a good market share hold on a lot of retailers. That would be an interesting number to find. Bitcoin is still crashing and scaring every other asset along with it. The market should have been able to catch a rebound today to neutralize options positioning before Nvidia earnings, but it's not able to because of how Bitcoin is trading. Yeah, I haven't even checked. What's it at now? 88.7. Damn, dude. Like, this is the thing, guys. This is from inception. You could literally see, I mean, the whole market on any of these charts, you could see how they fuck with us big time. But really, in the case of Bitcoin, John McAfee brought up a really good point. I thought when he was like, it did have a utility and it was popping at the time, just like, I don't know, he didn't say this part, but just kind of like Blockbuster and, I don't know, Circuit City. You think of like these old businesses that did pop at a certain point, just like .com and everything. So for like dark web transactions and shit he was talking about, that's what they liked it for. That's like realistically what the Silk Road, all this shit, that's what it was. What's it called? Black market money, essentially. So when like Elizabeth Warren and them would sit up there and they'd be like, I was used for fucking money laundering shit, and it's like, oh, you can concede that many years ago, but like it's come a long way in terms of security and like all that type of shit. But even still, dude, they like, that's how they're getting these back. They're accumulating for the digital asset stockpile. They're fucking stealing it back from people who have stolen or just seizing it for illegal means. That's how they just got the couple $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. That's not to say, obviously they do it with cash. They're going to do it with any type of currency. Like, I'm sure, actually, but the way like XRP's been implemented and everything, it's like always the top security, like fucking KYC and all that, like they exceed all those standards, which yet again, you could put on the same code of like, it's all of crypto now. They can track where, when, who, what, when, where, why, your money. And if you had any, I don't know, anything down the line, dude, if they ever want to fucking shut your money off, they can do it. I mean, they can, like, granted, yet again, do it now, but it's making it easier for them. It's like better technology, but on the same hand, you're giving up like, it's the same thing with a fucking phone. Like, you know it's listening, watching you all the time and shit, but it's like, it's a phone. It's awesome. But not always when you're like drooling looking at a black box, dude. You're just like on the train and shit. But just in, another 115 million liquidated from the crypto market in the past 60 minutes. Okay, the Grayscale XRP Trust ETF, ticker GXRP, is coming. Probably within the next week, probably in a couple of days, dude. One drop in a day. Fucking insane. Elon says AI and humanoid robots will eliminate poverty and make everyone wealthy. Why do I get the feeling it'll be the opposite? Like, it might be like this for a little bit, but then iRobot will eventually happen.
But AI and humanoid robots will actually eliminate poverty. And Tesla won't be the only one that makes them. I think Tesla will pioneer this, but there will be many other companies that make humanoid robots. But there is only basically one way to make everyone wealthy, and that is AI and robotics.
And we can't talk about robotics without AI.
It was interesting. We saw a picture of him at the table with, I think, Howard Lutnick and someone else. Oh, maybe David Sachs too, because they just had like the dinner because the Saudi guy came to see Trump and announced like the $1 trillion. They're upping it to $1 trillion investment in the U.S. and they're just glazing each other. But at the dinner, we saw a leaked picture of Elon sitting there with those guys. I mean, dude, yet again, like obviously he has his hands full, probably like space, all the different crazy massive companies, but X money is still on the horizon. You know, that yet again they're famous for saying, oh, something's coming, and then maybe it does eventually. But in this case, it will. His whole mission has always been this fucking, like the Chinese, they have like one app they use everything for. He wants the X to be the everything app. And then just seeing his ties with PayPal and everything, and David Sachs, and sitting there with Lutnick, like, you're telling me none of this agenda ever, like, comes up? Ever? Like, even though he's so busy, I understand making fucking humanoid robots and AI. I feel like the whole blockchain DLT space would definitely come up if this dude's trying to build the everything app. That's a huge fucking component, and especially how they want to utilize AI with crypto and shit. Literally the integrations, like I think PayPal's doing it with ChatGPT. It's just, we could see where this shit's headed. Guys, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications to help out the YouTube video, and join our group, The Minutemen. The link is in the description below. Exclusive videos there, weekly, multiple of them. And that's it. I appreciate you. I will see you in the next one.